and Allen takes the lead.
Extremely fast bike, the late breakers are going to give everything they've got.
Hard on the brakes. Look how hard they bury the front end.
Championship lead.
Look at them spread out 3 abreast as they come into turn 1. Oh, squirming under brakes. How close do you want to go?
Phillip Island's always been a good circuit to me. It's one of my favourite circuits on the calendar and pretty much my home race. It's a fast flowing circuit. You have to be consistent, tyre wear, strategy. There's a few things that go into it. So I mean, we have to just be smart about it. For me, I'm a little bit slow at the H shed, but I'm a lot faster at Lukey Heights than everyone else. So because the 2 corners link together, you've got to find the happy medium there. I'm happy with where I'm at about that. I'm not paying much attention to that. I think the run into Lukey, especially at the end of the race, it's a good place to pass. I've won a lot of races down in MG on the last lap here. So yeah, we're in a good position. That's all that really matters. We currently have a 32-point lead after claiming my pole position yesterday. So, you know, we just got to be smart for the 2 races here today and see what we can come up with.
Everyone's going so fast. Well, I think we've broken lap records just about every track we've gone to. So the pace is super hot, and it's just been great. It's been great to be a part of it. There's you know, a good rivalry coming up between 2 of the top 5 guys, and mathematically I think there's 4 guys who can still win this. So you know, obviously Wayne's got quite a lead. You know, that's going to be hard to pin back, but you know, this is racing, anything can happen. So we just need to keep fighting, and you know, to get 1-2 in this championship would be a dream result.
It's not over yet, and we're still racing for the championship. There's still a glimmer of hope there, and one lap's a lot different to a whole race, especially at this track because of the tyres, the way that, you know, the track heats the tyres up a lot. So you got to still make it to the end. You can't just be fast for one lap. So it's going to be interesting.
I've always had competitive teammates wherever I've been, whether it was, you know, before when I had Glenn Allerton as a teammate or Jamie Stouffer. It's always been very, very competitive. So, you know, I enjoy the competition between the teammates, but we get along great, and I think it drives the whole team forward. It's a very tight-knit unit here at Suzuki, and you know, makes a world of difference. Obviously, we'd like to finish 1st and 2nd in the championship. You know, realistically, it's a fair way out of Robbie's reach. You know, I basically can't finish either race, so you know that's not going to happen. So I'm going to finish both races, and hopefully it's just a matter of trying to get Robbie to finish 2nd.
Hello and welcome to the home of Australian motorsport, Phillip Island, for round 7, the final round of the 2013 QBE Australian Superbike Championship. Got fine conditions here at this magnificent seaside circuit. Mark Brax joining me in commentary once again. Braxy, this is shaping up to be an absolute fantastic round, the last round of the championship. The Superbike Championships come down to these last 2 races.
And the championship has had that pendulum effect. Glenn Allerton was the leader there up until Eastern Creek, when Wayne Maxwell really came to the fore, didn't he, Phil? He's won those 4 races and he's been on the ascendancy ever since. And this is his home circuit, I suppose. We don't call him the Pharaoh of Phillip Island for nothing.
Yeah, great to see Jamie Stouffer, also Braxy, come back in at the last round and score his first round victory for 2013.
It's going to be a marvellous event. The weather's a bit of a wind down there this afternoon, but that will help them and detract from their performance around the back of the track. But look at this. We've got Wayne Maxwell coming into the championship finale with a 31-point lead over Robbie Bugden, his teammate. Then Glenn Allerton, another further 4 points behind. Jamie Stouffer, then Josh Hook. And leading the way for the privateers is Glenn Scott, Linda McGee and Bo Beaton. But actually, Linda McGee comes into this championship 1 point ahead of Glenn Scott for the battle for that prestigious privateer championship. As we see Wayne Maxwell come up and what could be a historic defining moment in his career. Let's go down to Phil on the grid.
Championship leader coming into the final round. Wayno, probably the best position that you could be in going into this final 2 races for this championship year in 2013. Pole position, your home circuit, a track that you love, and yesterday did the fastest ever lap around.
Yeah, look, I'm really happy. You know, the guys at Team Suzuki have given me a great bike here. To do that yesterday in those conditions is, you know, I couldn't be happy. The GSXR is working great. So we just got to be smart in this first one, do what we have to do, and you know, try to clinch my first Australian Superbike Championship. Good luck, Wayno. Thank you.
We'll go over now and see if we can have a quick word with Robbie Bugden, who sits 2nd on the grid. But Robbie, the championship's still not completely out of reach for you, is it, going into these last 2 races?
No, it's definitely not. You know, it's all certainly getting pretty tight for 2nd place, but you know, I know all I got to do is go out there and just give it 100%, and I know a good result will come. So I just got to focus on what I can do, and you know, I know what sort of speed we got under race conditions. Obviously, the GSXR's you know, been working well all season, and not only just at this track, but pretty much every track we go to. So yeah, I'll just get out there and do what I know I can do, and result will come.
Good luck, Robbie.
Thank you.
And the man that qualified on pole position for the privateers for the very first time, Bo Beaton on the Racer's Edge Performance Suzuki. Bo, firstly, congratulations on the pole for the privateers yesterday. And, well, second, and the outright win in privateers not out of reach this weekend.
Nah, for sure. I think we can have a good weekend. The bike feels good. The team's done a great job for me this weekend. And, yeah, second row of the grid, we're pretty happy with that. Front privateer, we'll see what the race brings.
Have a good race, Bo.
Thanks.
And Braxy, I'll hand it back to you as I come up there and get ready for the first of our Superbike races for today.
Thanks, Phil, and get your breath ready, mate. It's going to be exciting as we look at our grid with Wayne Maxwell getting that extra championship point for pole position with that amazing time, 32.274 under the lap record. Glenn Allerton also there as well. Our leading privateer was Bo Beaton, a remarkable performance on him on the GSXR 1000.
Yeah, that was an excellent result, Braxy. In fact, his first pole position in the Privateer Championship. And what it does, it even closes that Privateer Championship up between himself, Lyndon McGee and Glenn Scott even more, if that was at all possible, as we get ready for the start now of race one. Start line Sam leaves the front of the grid. We're in the starter's hands. Red lights will be on and we're away. Great start from Robbie Bugden from the outside of the grid. Braxy, look at him. He's just blasted the GSXR 1000 off the line. No surprise about that, though. He's been doing it all year.
Not at all, and great vision there. It looks like Jamie Stover's right boot as they tip it into turn one for the first time in this 12-lap event. Now, can Wayne Maxwell, what is he going to do, Phil? Robbie Bugden has taken the bit between the teeth. He's champing away with Jamie Stover there. Wayne Maxwell and Glenn Allerton battling for third and fourth, and Josh Hook just behind them as well. So what is Wayne Maxwell going to do? Is he going to go out for the win, or is he just going to play a very smart game in this one and try and take the championship lead? He's finished second three times in 2009, 2010 and 2012, and also third in 2011. So he's been the bridesmaid a few times. What's he going to do today?
Yes, he'll want to make sure he hasn't got the dress on this time, that's for sure, Braxy. As Jamie Stover went up into the lead there just fractionally, but Bugden came back. I think Jamie Stover has got a massive dose of confidence after that last round win in Darwin. He said it wasn't the way he wanted to win, with Wayne Maxwell getting the jump start penalty, and in fact dropped his series of wins that could have been 6 on the trot had he won that race in Darwin. But Stover, he's got a massive confidence injection now, and a man that doesn't need any more confidence is Glenn Allerton. He's been going exceptionally well all weekend. Remember his performance here at the beginning of the year in the World Superbike round on that BMW S1000 RR. He's going to be a big performer this weekend.
Well, it's a couple of years he's been a big performer, that BMW, at the support classes of the Superbike round. Just noticed Josh Hook going up the inside of Wayne Maxwell too. So Wayne Maxwell just betting himself in. Great onboard shots here, looking backwards from Robbie Bugden, looking back, steaming onto CBR 1000 RR, pull out of the slipstream. Is he going to make it stick? He does. Oh no, Robbie Bugden, as we get a review of the grid as the starters. Robbie Bugden might have scored the cat. He just took off and left him standing, Phil.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with the Phil Tate prepared Suzukis this weekend, but they've been getting off the line pretty much well all year. That was a very close coming together there, it looked like, between Ben Henry and Ben Burke. On board now with Wayne Maxwell. You see him put the right Alpine Star boot up onto the footrest, just get ahead of Josh Hook down into turn one. But we're back to live action now, and it is Bugden wheeling his way out of Southern Loop area and around through turn 3, Stoner Corner, and he is on it, is Robbie Bugden.
Well, we've been talking about Wayne Maxwell taking the championship, but Robbie Bugden certainly hasn't given up hope of him taking the championship as well. He's had a stellar year as being a teammate for Wayne Maxwell. Oh, Glenn Scott on the Ensure My Ride Honda CBR 1000, having a bit of a front-end lose going through Honda there. He's managed to bring it all under control, but got overtaken. That's going to take his battle for the championship lead in the Privateer Championship, give him a bit of a start. But look at these 5, as they've done all year, Phil. They're starting to stretch themselves out from the rest. Robbie Bugden leading now from Jamie Stover, and over the top, Glenn Allerton, our 2011 champion, ready and waiting to pounce, and Josh Hook, the revelation, this Superbike rookie this year. He has just been setting the world on fire every time he jumps on that bike.
Yeah, we've said it every round break, so we've got to keep reminding ourselves that the rider on bike number 34, Josh Hook, is a rookie in this Superbike class. He is racing with guys that have won many Australian championships and many Australian championships in this class. And throw in Robbie Bugden, 5 times New Zealand Superbike champion at the front there, as Wayne Maxwell, the last rider in that lead group of 5, trying to win his first Australian Superbike Championship. at the moment just quite content to sit there and play a waiting game in this battle. But just further back from this battle too is the impressive privateer battle. Bo Beaton at the moment, we just saw going past Glenn Scott when he had that little moment coming out of turn 4, and that is a very intense battle at the moment as well between Bo Beaton, Glenn Scott and Lyndon McGee. And once again, Glenn Scott hasn't had the best of weekends, as we see here the moment we spoke about at turn 4. Scott comes out of the corner, gets on the gas a little bit hard. There goes Bo Beaton driving up the inside on that Racer's Edge Performance Suzuki.
Yeah, now back to our leaders, and look at this, a gaggle. They've just got the shepherd's hook out. They're all line astern as they come through. And Wayne Maxwell, a very mature race from him at the moment. We've seen in the past that he's can get a bit over-exuberant at the start with the championship year, but since he's got into this Phil Taken Team Suzuki, he has really come of age, and I think that's really helped his championship this year too as well. He's really settled into that team. He's got in front of Josh Hook now. I think he'll be slowly making his way through. He's got himself settled. He knows his Phillip Island track like the back of his hand. Even though he's a New South Welshman, he's been in Victoria for a number of years, and this is almost his home track. But try telling that to Robbie Bugden, as he's really starting to put these decent laps together at the moment.
Well, Robbie Bugden has had a fantastic year this year, Brax, as we go back on board now with Wayne Maxwell through the top end of the circuit. And remember, I think it was last year when Wayne Maxwell and Jamie Stouffer were teammates. Jamie Stouffer's rear wheel coming through this corner when they were on identical bikes was doing 60 kilometres an hour faster than Wayne Maxwell. He is riding incredibly smoothly now, as he always has on that Suzuki GSX-R 1000, and as the year's gone on, he's just been able to get faster and faster and just keep that good momentum up, and he is really strong towards the end of the race. And at the moment, I think he's just playing a bit of a waiting game, sitting there behind Glenn Allerton. Maybe saw that Josh Hook was starting to drop off the back a little bit and wanted to make sure he got up with these leaders and is able to go with them and put down a hard charge towards the end of the race.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things going through his head. This is a championship at stake. He can actually wrap it up this race if the results fall his way. But when you say Jamie Stouffer having a good look up the inside, might have been last year his back wheel was still going 60 k's faster. I think this year it might be doing about 75 k's faster. He is really riding the wheels up. But like you said, Phil, he's got that burst of confidence after Darwin, after that mid-season injury at Queensland, what really negated his championship charge when, as he said, he's moving around the bike all right with a broken pelvis. Yeah, the pelvis, one left-hand side going one way and his right-hand side going the other, but it's all back together now, and Robbie Bugden runs it a bit wide coming up through Lukey Heights. As we look now at Jamie Stouffer coming down the hill into MG Corner. Oh, he's taking the wide line. I think he might be trying to slipstream due on the whale out. Bugden runs it a bit wide. Allerton's still there. Wayne Maxwell in 4th position, and Josh Hook, he's not letting him get away too far at the moment, Phil.
No, and it's interesting, Braxy, when we were talking to Wayne Maxwell and Phil Tainton, that through the hayshed, Robbie Bugden is actually clearly faster on the telemetry than what Wayne Maxwell is. But Wayne said it doesn't matter about how fast you are through the hayshed, it's through turns 11 and 12 where you've got to be fast, and that is where Maxwell is actually faster than his teammate, as we see Jamie Stouffer come up towards the lead. But on board now with Ben Henry on the Australian Outdoor Living Cube Racing Suzuki. It looks like he's having a great battle with Sean Condon on the bike for his iPone Kawasaki ZX-10. And I tell you what, those pro-stock Kawasaki ZX-10s, they are extremely potent in a straight line, as we just saw with Condon blasting past the superbike of Ben Henry.
And you can see hard Ben's riding that bike too. Big head shake as it came over the rise here at the speed trap going into Doon Corner. But Ben will be the first to admit that he hasn't been having the best of year in 2013, but he's certainly trying to finish the year off with a good note as Stouffer goes back underneath Bugden, and Bugden goes round the outside going into Siberia. These two will be slowing each other's up, which if Wayne Maxwell could, he'd be rubbing his hands together in glee, thinking this is just all I need now, as we're back on board within that Alpine Star boot in high vision at the moment as they come through going up to the hay shed. Now will Maxwell be able to make a move on them very shortly? As we said, Bugden and Stouffer slowing each other up with this great duel for the battle for the lead in this opening leg at the final round of the QBE Australian Superbike Championship for 2013, pardon me. Just saw Glenn Allerton get the big shuffle from Wayne Maxwell.
That's the world famous Wayne Maxwell manoeuvre across the top at turn 9, down into towards turn 10, up the inside, although that one was extremely late as we go back through the same area of the circuit now, on board with Ben Henry on that Australian Outdoor Living Cube Racing Suzuki. Well, speaking about Ben Henry, he hasn't had the best of year riding-wise, but is he the busiest man in Australian Superbike racing? He does everything in that team, including ride the bike.
And make the sandwiches if you go in there over lunchtime as well. Now, Ben is a very busy man, and if he'd known he was going to be on television that much, he might have put the old ultra spray onto the leathers to clean them up a bit as well, I think. But look at this battle now for the lead. It's still Bugden and Stover out the front. Then it's Allerton and Maxwell now. Maxwell will want to make a move shortly if he wants to wrap this championship up this race. As Stover going the wide line through Stoner corner, sideways into Tonda corner, turn forward. He makes it stick, but does he make it stick enough? Yes, he does. Bugden there trying to have a... Oh, Bugden has a bit of a look behind him. I think you want to see what's in front of you there because Jamie will be trying to get away.
Well, all he saw was a big number 14 of the two-times Australian champion Glenn Allerton on that Next Gen Motorsport BMW. That's exactly what Robbie Bugden saw when he looked behind the tenacious Glenn Allerton right behind him. Allerton's got back past ahead of Maxwell using that awesome power of the BMW S1000RR. And as the action heats up here, Braxy, let's go to a break and be back with the second half of Superbike Race 1. Welcome back to Phillip Island as we get into the final stages now of Superbike Race 1. And Braxy, the Privateer Championship battle has taken another dramatic turn. As you see that puff of dust there, that is our championship leader in the Privateer Championship coming into this round. Lyndon McGee, unfortunately, not going any further than the gravel trap outside of the hay shed.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Lyndon. That's a big dent in his championships, as you said. But here's our championship battle at the front for the major honours. Stover and Bugden still at it, hammering tongs as they go through Doohan corner again, which is dragging up Glenn Allerton and Wayne Maxwell waiting for his chance to pounce as well. And I'd say Josh Hooker might be having a bit of tyre trouble because it's definitely nothing wrong with his riding talent at the moment. It must be something amiss with the rear end of that bike. As we know, Phillip Island is absolutely torturous on tyres, no matter what brand they are. This just shreds them to pieces. And these tyres at the front for all quartet of these riders will be taking absolute pounding, especially Jamie Stover as he flicks it sideways. Oh, Glenn trying up the inside, then not quite having to go at Bugden. Bugden was more worried about getting past Jamie Stover, I think, than Phil.
Well, he had to use every bit of electronical assistance available on that S1000RR BMW then to stop him getting, running into the side of Robbie Bugden as he now tries to come back at Bugden on bike number 6. It wouldn't be the first time those two have had it coming together over the last couple of years. And at the moment, Allerton, he is riding with dogged determination because he's got Wayne Maxwell right behind him, and he's also got his eyes on the podium as well as they come down into turn 10 now in the dying stages of this race. Only a couple of laps left now of the 4.45 kilometre Phillip Island circuit, and there's a man who has probably chewed every piece of fingernail off those knuckles as he twirls the Allen key. Phil Tayton is actually going for his 11th Australian Championship. Braxis, he looks around at PM, the GM, the General Manager of Suzuki, Perry Morrison, also another interested onlooker.
And he'd be going for his 11th championship too, Phil. No wonder they look serious. They look like expectant mothers as they're looking at that screen up there. And you'd think Phil would be a bit used to winning championships, but it doesn't matter if it's your first one or the 11th one. The nerves are still going ballistic down in his tum-tum at the moment as Robbie Bugden's butterflies will be getting there as well as Jamie Stover on that. Oh, Glenn Allerton. Big lose there as Wayne Maxwell around the outside. He's been a rodeo rider at the moment as he tries to move into third spot. Not quite there, taking a long way around. And up the short side again, Jamie Stover. No, not quite. A bit later under brakes that time for Robbie Bugden.
I think what that was, actually, that was a show of the determination that Glenn Allerton is riding with at the moment. He wants to make this last round, well, one that really counts for him in 2013. He started off the race, or the round, the year with two impressive victories in Tasmania. And for the first time this year, since the Phillip Island first round, they've actually brought the X tyre back in for the Phillip Island circuit. As you were saying before, it has very unique demands on the tyres here at Phillip Island because of the amount of time they spend over on the other side of the tyre, especially through turns 11 and 12, where we're heading for after we negotiate the tight hairpin at turn 10, otherwise known as MG.
Yeah, and Jamie Stover there, one of his favourite passing places on the track is around the hay shed, and he did it slipping up the inside of Robbie Bugden. He's done it over the years, time and time again, and you really can't give him an inch of space, and he took it there as we look at Robbie Bugden. Rear view back at Glenn Allerton, our 2011 champion, as they come storming down the line again. Few laps left. Look at this, 3 abreast in the slipstream duel. Robbie Bugden got in front of Jamie Stover. Glenn Allerton just gone straight through in the front of the whole lot of them there from 3rd to 4th in about 200 metres. And Wayne Maxwell there, he's just rubbing his hands with glee going, come on boys, use up your tyres, I'm ready to pounce.
Well, those Suzuki's, Braxy, they're doing over 300 kilometres an hour down the front straight. So how fast is that Shane Kindera's tuned BMW down the long front straight? Of course, you've got to get it onto the straight too. Glenn Allerton riding exceptionally well, as we said, on that Next Gen Motorsport BMW S1000RR, backs it down into the corner. And Jamie Stover has gone from 1st to 3rd in the matter of half a lap.
That front end chatter as he really pounced on the front end of that. And you're talking about Shane Kinderis. Well, he's got world records at the Bonneville Speed Trials this year as well, so he does know how to tune an engine, particularly a BMW. As Wayne Maxwell pops a little mono, Robbie Bugden pops a little mono as he comes out of the Siberia through the ultra-fast Hayshed, one of the fastest right-handers in the world, as they come up through the left-hander. Look at the aggression and the body language of Glenn Allerton. Now that he's got in the lead on that next-gen Motorsports BMW, he's not going to give it up. Wayne Maxwell does it again. His favourite part of this Phillip Island track for passing, up the inside and gets good drive. It's amazing how he can hold that line and pull it out into that short shift onto this long turn 11 and 12. He'll say, see you later, Jamie Stafford. I'm on the move now. I've got a championship to win this race.
Well, as we said, he might be slow through the Hayshed, but he said he sets it all up at the top of MG. That's the way he gets the run down there into turn 10. He's now trying to make his way past his teammate. And you don't outbreak Robbie Bugden without getting up pretty early in the morning, Braxy. He is one of the latest breakers in the business on bike number 6. You don't win 5 New Zealand Superbike Championships and take that trophy that Andrew Stroud had bolted into his trophy cabinet out without a big effort. As Maxwell now tries to go around the outside of Bugden, he'll get good drive down the straight in towards Stoner Corner, but I think Bugden squared the corner up. He's got onto the fat part of the tyre and he's driven it out there a little bit too hard for Maxwell on this occasion, but Maxwell will come back on 47 down into turn 4 and just manages to squeeze up the inside. Had the shoehorn out there and just managed to get it done.
Jeez, I thought there was going to be a bit of a touch there, but they have two different riding styles too. I've seen Phil Taitman talk to us about the telemetry of the bikes. Wayne Maxwell got more of a classic flowing style, whereas Robbie Bugden tends to square the corners off and get harder on the brakes and let it roll through the corner, then got on the gas quicker, whereas Wayne Maxwell likes to keep that momentum up. And it's working for Wayne Maxwell at the moment. He's just bided his time very well there at the moment.
I hate to say it, Braxy, but has Wayne Maxwell been smart, making him Maxwell smart, playing it early in, slow early in the race and then coming back strong in the latter half of the race, as we've seen him done many, many times this year.
Yeah, exactly. And this could be the time that he, it comes to the fore. Like we said, he's runner up 3 times in the championship. He was 3rd in the championship in 2012. He's done it 4 times in 4 years. So is this his time? If he stays there now in that position, he's won the championship. But he's not going to go out. He wants to take the championship with a win as he tries up the inside. But Glenn Allerton's got that outside line. He can just carry a little bit more corner speed into turn 1.
Well, you saw the next gen team hanging over the pit wall, giving Glenn Allerton all the encouragement he needs. He's only got now 11 corners, Braxy. He's got to try and hold off Wayne Maxwell, and he will be trying as hard as he can to try and finish off the season with the best round. Was that a bit of dirt or something on the track? He nearly lost it, but Allerton holds on. And
a big black line to make sure of it too. He just a big squiggly through there as they come down into turn 4 for the final time. Good defensive line from Glenn Allerton. Oh, but Wayne Maxwell might be too smart trying the outside line there, getting onto the dirty stuff on the final lap, but he manages to get it all in line. Look at them come through now into Siberia. Is Wayne Maxwell going to be happy to sit there and take second? I think not.
Well, as they drive up towards the Hayshed, Braxy, they'll get up towards here, 200 odd kilometres an hour plus as they flip direction now. As they go past the second intermediate, Braxy, these two are on track to set the fastest lap of the race as they come through that intermediate. That's how hard they're pushing here on this last lap.
Oh, especially with a championship up for grabs, and Wayne Maxwell trying his favourite line again, up the inside. Oh, that could have been disastrous for both of them, but he knows what he's got to do through there as Wayne Maxwell comes through. Now it's a drag to the finish as Glenn Allerton got anything up his sleeves to get out there. As Wayne Maxwell going to hang on to take the championship by taking this win in this first race.
Well, as you said before, second may have been good enough, but not good enough for Wayne Maxwell as he drives hard onto the straight now. Allerton in a slipstream. He'll pull out and make a lunge for the line, will he? No, Maxwell gets there. Maxwell takes the win, takes the 2013 championship, his first Australian Superbike Championship. Congratulations, Wayne Maxwell. Congratulations, Glenn Allerton. What a fantastic last lap. They both set their fastest lap of the race on lap 12 of the 12-lap journey.
And we were talking about tyre degradation. Well, what a way to do that. Win the championship by winning the race. And there's some, they're old teammates from last year and previous years, but good camaraderie still between Jamie Stouffer and Wayne Maxwell as we look at our official results. Wayne Maxwell taking by the barest of margins of just 14 thousandths of a second over Glenn Allerton, with Robbie Bugden taking up the 3rd spot on the podium. Our leading privateer, Bo Beaton, he moves into 2nd in the championship after the demise of Lyndon McGee, with Glenn Scott now regaining the championship lead in that battle for the privateers.
Thanks, Braxy. Down here with our top 3. We'll go and grab a quick word now with Robbie Bugden. Third place in the race. Championship's coming down to 2 points between yourself and Glenn Allerton for second and third place. Robbie, what a hectic race. That was absolutely unbelievable. The top four covered by nothing for the entire race distance.
Yeah, that was a whole bunch of fun, you know, and yeah, it was all over the place, wasn't it? You know, as soon as someone came past, I just tried to attack straight back, and you know, that worked for a while, but we just sort of lacked a little bit right at the end. But you know, full credit to the whole team. Again, both of us on the podium. Wayne takes the championship, great stuff for him, and you know, the whole Suzuki team been gelling really good, and it's you know, it's just a pleasure to be a part of it.
Great ride, Robbie. Can't wait for this afternoon. Congratulations.
Me neither. Thanks, mate.
There you go. We'll go and have a quick word now with Glenn Allerton, who finished in second place in the race. If I can just squeeze past the new Australian champion, Wayne Maxwell. But Glenn, talk us about through those last couple of laps. Looked like you were playing a pretty smart race there, sitting back there in third place. Really exploded in those last couple of laps.
Yeah, I was just looking after the tyre. Felt like I had a lot of speed on the guys in front. But this is a place where you've got to be smart. You can't just go hell for leather from the start. But yeah, it was a close race. I don't like, yeah, you don't want to lose like that. But obviously he's on another level at the moment. So hopefully this next one we can square it up.
We actually said it before the start of the race that you had this look in your eye this weekend. We know how dangerous you are, and you know, you've been there or thereabouts all season, but that race you really showed some real grit and character.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've got a good package, and our bike's strong. So as far as the package goes, we've got everything it takes to win the race. It's just for some reason or another, the last couple of rounds we haven't put it together, but great work by the team. You know, we've backed up from going to Laguna. Most of us haven't had much sleep, and to put a bike together like that, credit goes to them. Congratulations to you and the whole team. Thanks.
Go over now and have a quick word with the new Australian champion, Wayne Maxwell. Wayno, firstly, congratulations on the lap yesterday, but congratulations on your first Australian championship. I know how hard you've been working for it, and Team Suzuki as well.
What can I say? You know, I'm pretty emotional. I've worked hard. I've been close many a time, but you know, it's not all me. It's a great team, Team Suzuki. I came here, you know, I didn't really have anything else when I came here, and they really helped me out, and you know, they've given me what I've wanted, and the Suzuki was unbelievable. GSXR, I think we did the fastest lap of the race in the last lap, and you know, it just shows how good the Dunlop tyre hung in there, and full credit to all the guys, and yeah, what a way to win the championships, to win the race, and we've got one more race to go, and then we can let the celebrations begin. You said on the grid you've got to play it smart. That looked like exactly what you were doing, sitting back there in third and fourth place, and then just like Glenn, exploded over the last couple of laps, and as you said, fastest lap on the last lap. Yeah, I think it was pretty close fast lap, but I was just keeping an eye on Glenn and Jamie, and you know, Robbie. I've seen Robbie doing a lot of work at the front there, working his tyre, and he was trying to hang in there, and you know, he didn't quite get there in the end. And most importantly, we've got to try to help Robbie, because we need him to get second in the championship, can make it Suzuki 1-2. So I thought I had to go and took some points off there, Glenn there. So hopefully, you know, we can change a few things and try to make it Suzuki 1-2 this afternoon. Congratulations on your first Australian championship, Wayne. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to all at Team Suzuki. It's been a great year. Thank you very much. Well, the celebratory T-shirt there for Wayne Maxwell, the 2013 QBE Australian Superbike champion, with an unassailable 39-point lead over his teammate Robbie Bugden in second place, and Glenn Allerton in third. Only 2 points separate them. What will be the final championship order? One race to go to determine that. Jamie Stafford, Josh Hook, Glenn Scott, Bo Beaton and Linda McGee round out the top 8.
Well, Bo, in that first Superbike race, the battle for the privateers has really hotted up. Tell us about your version of it.
Yeah, she's getting pretty close there. First couple of laps there were pretty intense with Lyndon and Glenn. Glenn got a really good start from the last row of the grid. That was phenomenal, you know. Little fella rocket ship down the front straight there. Sort of got in a bit of a groove. Lyndon come around me and thought I could sit there with him, and he ended up throwing it down the road. It was probably just pushing a little bit too hard, and we felt comfortable on the bike. The lap times felt pretty consistent, and yeah, I think we can do it again in the next race.
So you would have had a pretty good view of Lyndon exiting?
Yeah, I was right behind him. He right in the middle of the hay chute, which is pretty fast there. I'm over 200, fourth gear, so yeah, he lost the front there in the middle. It's not a good place to throw down at all, and I don't know how he is. I haven't been down to see him or anything like that, but yeah, I'm sure. I think he's up and about walking, and no dramas.
Lyndon, what do you say, the Privateers Championship?
Yeah, well, threw it down the road in turn 8, which, yeah, kind of wrecked our championship yet. But, I mean, we've got one race left. Anything can happen. So, you know, I'm just going to go out there in the next one and put my head down and try and do what I did in that. I mean, I felt really comfortable, and I felt we had good pace. And I think, you know, if I got a better start, I would have been well clear of those guys and could have taken it easy. But, yeah, I'm just pretty disappointed with myself, and yeah, see what we can do on the next one.
Getting ready for the start of Superbike Race 2 now, and as you can see from that graphic, There are clouds in the sky and a rain shower has just come across the Phillip Island circuit. Next Gen Motorsport riders heading out on slick tyres. This is going to be a great last race. Mark Brax is down in pit lane with an interested onlooker.
Well, Will Davidson, senior at Phillip Island for the QB Australian Superbike Championships. There's only 2 wheels here. What are you doing?
Hey, I'm a massive fan of 2 wheels, so I got my own Ducati, which I love getting out of. But yeah, really just good mates with Wayne. Have been for quite a while. We do a lot of training together during the year and support each other a lot off our 4 wheels or 2 wheels. So yeah, to be here and witness him win his first title and win that race was really something special, and I know how hard he's worked for it. So such a great guy. And yeah, I'm a huge 2-wheel fan, and just wrapped for Wayno.
Well, you'd understand what was going through his head before the start of the race, knowing that he's got such a good lead in the championship and what you had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was with his mum and his stepdad, and with Brooke, his fiance, and you know, everyone was pretty nervous up there. But you know, I could tell by Wayno, he's got his head screwed on. He's in a really good place this year. You know, as I said, he's very focused away from the track, and as I said, we're really good buddies, and you know, he played it so smart that race. He hung out in 4th spot there, and just let everyone play their games. And I could see before the race he was in the zone. So Rapti was able to take it away in the first race, but to do it with a win, you know. What better style, you know, a spectacular passing move around the outside at Lukey Heights, down into MG, up the inside of Glen there in the last lap. So, you know, great way for him to win it. Really stood his authority on the championship.
Yeah, well, that ride was probably one of the most mature rides I've seen of any rider, let alone Wayne, because we know what Wayne's history's been like. To settle there and then save it to the last lap, and then the fastest lap of the race on the last lap, that shows the sign of a true champion.
It does, you know, and I'm sure, you know, when he goes into his off-season, to know you've won it like that, to know you've really dominated and been the fastest, most deserving guy would be very rewarding for him. So, you know, obviously he's been around quite a while. He's been so fast for so many years, but he's obviously really matured. You know, he's got his head in a really good place, and you know, he's just done a perfect job all year long. So look forward to celebrating with him. I've got a bit more to go this year. I've got some big races coming up, but I'm sure we'll be having some good celebrations.
All right, thanks for joining us.
It's great to be here. Cheers.
It is great to be here, and if you're Wayne Maxwell, it's great to be sitting on pole position as well, as he lines up on the grid now. Slick tyres on a wet circuit, as we saw, 1:32.274, fastest ever domestic lap for Wayne Maxwell, bettering his previous mark by a couple of tenths of a second. Glenn Allerton second on the grid, and he'll be making every poster winner in this final race. In fact, these conditions have got Glenn Allerton's name written all over them. We've seen him do it many, many times before. Wet circuit, slick tyres, as Jamie Stouffer gets a little bit of extra traction from the rear end of that Honda CBR 1000. Start line Sam leaves the grid. We're in readiness for the start of race 2, the final race in the 2013 QBE Australian Superbike Championship. Braxy joins me back in the commentary box. Braxy, great to see a V8 superstar here taking in this last race.
Yes, and I don't know about the celebrations when he's preparing for Bathurst next weekend. I think that might be a bit of a big step for him, but good to see a V8 rider here as well. What's going to happen? We've got Adam Senior out in front on bike number 20. No, sorry, it's Chaz Hearn on bike number 24. Thought it was Adam Senior. He's back on bike number 77 there on screen at the moment. But now look at this. It's talking about tiptoeing their way around this 4.45 kilometre circuit for the opening lap, but you couldn't say that to Ben Burke. He's just put the hammer down, as we're on board now with Glenn Scott on the Insure My Ride Honda CBR 1000, and the GSD, get stuff done. Oh true, he says on the back of his leathers, as now he's just stalking. I think that might be Phil Lovett, looking at the size of those leathers.
Well, Phil Lovett is a rain master, Braxy, and I dare say he's going to have some different tyres, the slicks otherwise on his bike, with the way he's leaning it over down through Siberia. And in fact, I think all of our top 4 may have gone for a different tyre option than the slicks that all of our factory superbike riders have done. Well, the speed of Ben Burke on the number 60 BC Performance by Bikes Connect Kawasaki ZX10R indicates that he's also gone for a wet tyre option, and these riders are really now starting to pull ahead of the rest of the field.
Yeah, you can noticeably tell from the difference for the speed of the first race how much slower they are. But like you said, we've got the wet weather tyres on for at least this leading quartet at the moment. as they come into MG corner for the first time. It's Chaz Hearn on his Suzuki with Phil Lovett on the Kawasaki and Glenn Scott on the Honda. We'll see if they can, well, they'll be all hoping for a bit of wet weather to come back again, Phil, but there's blue skies there, so the gamble's going to be seen if that rain's going to come back, if and when these guys can hang on to the lead, and how much it's going to take for the other guys to catch up.
Well, the big question is how much wind, Braxy. We see how quickly this track dries when there's a little bit of wind. As the marshals look on there inspecting the track surface. Look at this gaggle of riders now making their way onto the start-finish straight. Adam Senior on 77. Massive commitment from Adam Senior all year to come all the way from Western Australia. And he's at the moment battling with Lyndon McGee as Phil Lovett goes around the outside of Ben Burke. He might be 55 plus years old. But as we said, Braxton, he's the fastest 50-year-old motorcycle rider on two wheels out there in Australia.
I reckon he is, and he gets quicker with the times he's doing. He got down to a 1:35 during the weekend as well, which is a remarkable effort for anybody half his age, let alone someone on the wrong side of 50, as he slides up the inside of Chaz Hearn there on the Kawasaki. As Chaz Hearn probably shakes his head in disbelief. He's saying, is that Phil Lovett who's just gone past me? As we have a look at the replay, and we can see just how damp that track is at the moment.
Well, you can see the amount of wheel spin there from Josh Hook as he tries to get off the line on the Honda CBR 1000. Chaz Hearn just blasts past him on the CM racing machine. And here comes Glenn Scott on his privateer. He is getting stuff done in the early stages of this race.
He certainly is. And look around the outside, wheeling them all up, rounding them out like the big cowboy. Oh, a bit of a slide there as we come back to live action at the moment. Phil Lovett right on the outside of the track as Ben Burke goes past Chaz Hearn now too. As wondering if Chaz Hearn has just used up too much of his tyre too soon to try and get that early break that he did off the start line.
Well, excuse me, Braxy, while I just take a photo of the leaderboard so I can give that to Phil Lovett later on. Phil Lovett leads an Australian Superbike race on the second of 12 laps with Ben Burke and Chaz Hearn right behind. So we've got two Kawasaki's leading from a Suzuki, all privateer riders. This is great for the privateers to get a bit of sunshine and time in the limelight, really.
Oh, very much so. It gives their sponsors a bit of exposure as well. And Phil Lovett looks like he's dispatched both Ben Burke and Chaz Hearn on bike 60 and 24 respectively. So we'll have to see if, well, look who's coming up the back there. It was Glenn Alladon, I think, on that Next Gen Motorsports BMW, just relegating Glenn Scott on the Honda back to 5th position. So it looks like now Phil Lovett, he'll be just trying to streak out from the rest of them. Actually, looks like Ben Burke's thought, hang on, you're on a Kawasaki, I'm on a Kawasaki, I think I might give chase to you, old fella, as he comes up through the hay shed. So this could be one ref will see Phil Lovett lead an Australian Superbike race for a couple of laps. Pretty gingerly through there, but that just shows a remarkable grip and how much lean angle they've got with these tyres and how greasy the circuit is. As now we get back to our boys led by Robbie Bugden there on bike number 6.
Yeah, Robbie Bugden, who was just ahead of, that was Sean Condon on the Bike Biz iPone Kawasaki ZX10, another one of our pro stock riders. Then it's Wayne Maxwell debuting the #1 plate in this final race of the 2013 season. Then it was our, one of our top privateers, Bo Beaton on the Races Edge Performance Suzuki, bike number 86. Lyndon McGee trying to make amends for that race crash. And Josh Hook and Jamie Stouffer.
Did you see? You can still see the patch on the Dunlop tyre of Josh Hook's machine on the front tyre there.
It hasn't even worn off after 3 laps.
He hasn't been on the, well, it just shows he hasn't been on the centre line of that tyre very much as well. And a good rear view shot from Josh Hook's bike as we look back at the field, as gets the power down remarkably well on those slick tyres. He's putting plenty of faith. He's particularly out of turn 11 coming through turn 12. You don't want to have too many slips there or you're over the high side in a great rate or not. So I've got our new championship winner, leader, Wayne Maxwell there, leading through from, I think that was Bo Beaton on bike number 86 that was following in close proximity. But now, well, we were saying that how long could Phil Lovett lead a race? Ben Burke thought, well, not very long, lads. I'm going to get in front of him. Can't be having, well, they're good mates as well. Kawasaki mounted, both of them. As Phil Lovett now is probably quite happy to be content to be in second position.
Well, hold on to your hats, Phil Lovett and Ben Burke, because there is a missile approaching from behind, and it is Glenn Allerton, who loves these sort of conditions, Braxy. I always think of that race at Queensland a couple of years ago when he was riding for Team Honda. The bike wouldn't start, had to go back to his spare bike, which had slick tyres on it on a wet circuit, crashed twice and rode through the field on 2 occasions to record one of his most impressive rides that I've ever seen. And as we said, these conditions are playing right into his hands as he's closing down our leaders at a rate of knots, and he has got slick tyres, so he is not going to slow down as this race carries on to to its final conclusion. Look at the amount of distance he made up there into turn 10.
And he also did it here a couple of years ago in a superbike support race where he gave the BMW its first win anywhere in the world. As now he come on, well, look at him now. He's really got the medal on it as he comes through now turn 12. Great vision there as he comes down stalking Ben Burke. I don't think Ben's going to know what hit him as he comes. That BMW just goes storming past him down Gardner Straight into Doohan Corner. Is that the last we're going to see of, well, not the last we'll see, but is that the last anybody's going to see of Glenn Allerton now that he's got into the lead?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair call, Braxy. He'll want to finish this year on a high. We're 4 laps into the 12-lap final race of the 2013 season. We'll be back after this short break. 7 laps to go now in this final race for 2013. Allerton with a commanding lead over the rest of the field as he gets spurred on by the next-gen team, hanging over the pit wall. Look at the gap he's now got over Ben Burke with 7 laps to go.
You'd thought that was the end of the race, the way they were out there, LRGP style, as Glenn Allerton came past on his next-gen motorsports BMW. Ben Burke in second position, holding pretty fair station at the moment, because as we've said a couple of times, once Glenn Allerton gets in the lead, especially in these dry and unchangeable conditions, he is gone. And speaking of gone, Ben Henry is trying to do the same thing on his Australian Outdoor Living Cube Racing GSX-R 1000. Probably trying to finish off the year on a bit higher note. He's had a very up and down year this year. Probably with the most monumental one is the exit stage left at Queensland Raceway when his bike flipped over the fence and nearly took out a couple of spectators.
But I'll tell you what, Ben Henry's actually making his way through the field, Braxton. If he keeps this pace up, he could very well find himself on the podium, because he is really starting to hunt down our leaders now. He's also a master in these conditions. I think it was not last year, the year before, on the podium in Western Australia, outright for the round, because the second race was a little bit wet.
Yeah, that was only last year, I think, Phil, 2012, in that wet race, the V8s, when he was over there and got on the podium. As another fine exponent of wet weather riding. You wouldn't think, being a Western Australian, he would be that good in the wet, but he certainly is. That. But there's man who is getting stuff done with a GSD on the back of his leathers, Glenn Scott, on that Ensure My Ride. He's aiming to take his, well, he's a Superbike rookie too as well. We've been casting accolades at Josh Hook on the factory Superbike team. But look at Glenn Scott this year, up from the Supersport last year, an X125cc champion a few years ago. And now he's got onto this Ensure My Ride. Eastern Creek, I think, was where he really came of age, where he got that podium position.
Yeah, that's right, Braxton. And also look to where he was at the beginning of the year at the first round of the championship in Tasmania. He was, fair to say, a fair way behind the other leading Superbike privateers in Lyndon McGee, and also Bo Beaton on that Racer's Edge Performance Suzuki. But look where he is now, as he is trying desperately to hang on and win his first Privateer Superbike Championship in his rookie year.
Yeah, and talking about the bum pad he had on that to keep him in the seat, that was really, well, it just shows you how vicious these Superbikes are to try and control. He needs every bit of padding he can get. As we have another good look at those clouds. Are they going to come back and play havoc in the closing stages of this race? I certainly hope not. Well, for the spectators, I suppose they do want a bit of wet weather there to sort the men out from the boys again, as we see that the dry weather tyres are starting to come to the fore. As now we look at one of our leaders, Robbie Bugden, on bike number 6. Another stellar performance from him in 2013.
Well, he's making his way back through the field. If we got all of our Superbike factory riders, including Glenn Allerton on that next-gen motorsport BMW, started off with slick tyres on the drying circuit. Bugden, well, makes his way past Ben Henry, like Ben Henry was almost standing still on that Phil Tatum prepared Suzuki. And Bugden is now on track, because he's just pushed Ben Henry back off the podium. Bugden's on track to take a podium position in this final race as he makes his way onto the straight, and not too far behind him is his teammate Wayne Maxwell.
Yeah, well, Wayne will be pretty keen to make it 2 podiums as well. He's had the one win to win up the championship earlier in the day. What a better way to finish it off by taking another podium in preparation for those more celebrations that will be starting later on this evening somewhere in Phillip Island. As we see Ben Henry now, as Ben Henry now is getting some good onboard coverage. As now, look at this, we've got the privateer battle again. Chaz Hearn there, out of championship contention, but the man in front of Glenn Scott at the moment, Bo Beaton. These are two that are fighting out the championship, as well as Lyndon McGee as our number 1 plate. He's been given special permission to wear it this afternoon. Wayne Maxwell goes charging through past Ben Henry as he makes his way up to get, well, he's now in a podium position there, Phil.
Yeah, he is back back up onto the podium. Just quickly thought I should mention, though, Chaz Hearn, he has had a fantastic year. He's had a lot of disappointment with his trailer being stolen, etc., Braxy. But the way he has ridden that bike, another Superbike rookie stepping up from the Pro Stock class last year. If he can have a bit of luck go his way next year, he certainly could be someone to be reckoned with in this Superbike class.
Well, we've just seen the Premier category racing here in Australia with some of the best riders. There's a good onboard of, oh, wow, Wayne Maxwell, talking about savaging your way through, coming up to the hay shed. I think he had to squeeze his way through there just to get off the white line and give Glenn Scott a bit of a rub. And I think that was another lesson in his rookie year for Glenn Scott of what the hay shed's like at speed.
Well, the other thing is that Maxwell is determined to try and get up onto the podium. He had to try and work his way back from the very back of the field. He's up into third place now, so it is Glenn Allerton leading from Robbie Bugden on bike number 6. Wayne Maxwell on 47 in second and third place there. Well, Wayne Maxwell on 47. He's on bike number 1 now because he wrapped up the championship in race number 1, his first Australian Superbike Championship. Yeah. As we said, Braxy, the 11th championship for Phil Tayton. Glenn Allerton, he's got a couple of Superbike Championships to his name. He's also previously won the Superbike Privateer Championship, so he'll know exactly how Glenn Scott's feeling at the moment with only, less than a lap to go for him to wrap up his championship as well.
And I'm glad you mentioned Phil Tayton, because since Phil Tayton and Wayne Maxwell have come together, Wayne's really found a home this year in the Team Suzuki outfit. Ever so close in previous years, as I've said a couple of times during this telecast, but now that he's got on that bike, he's really come of age, and I think we're going to see even better things of him in 2014, and I think we'll see better things of this man too on the next step of the Next Gen Motorsports team as they really prepare for 2014 as well. And Glenn Allerton, well, he was our early race prediction, and it looks like he's going to hang on to take that win, and what a way to finish him for the year as a win, as now we get our Team Honda boys of Jamie Stouffer leading his mate Josh Hook as we come onto the start-finish strike for the final time. The finger goes up. It's number 1 position for Glenn Allerton. Well done on the Next Gen Motorsports bike.
Yeah, Robbie Bugden finishes in second place. Wayne Maxwell in third. There wasn't much in it at the end of the day, Braxy. There was only a couple of tenths of a second, half a second, as the Next Gen Motorsport team congratulate each other. Great effort for them. They started off the year with a round win, and they'll finish it up with 1-2, Braxy.
Very much so. A great effort by Glenn Allerton as he pops a celebratory mono down the back there through Stoner Corner as we see our official results. Glenn Allerton from Bugden with Wayne Maxwell third. Ben Henry just missed it out on the podium in fourth. The Honda boys of Stouffer and Hook Burke leading our way for our super stock guys. And then Linda McGee recovering from that accident. Phil Lovett and Glenn Scott. And now the boys coming back to Parc Fermé. Glenn Allerton on that Next Gen Motorsports team, very happy as the team owner Wayne Hepburn there, congratulating first up. Then it's Nathan Webb, team owner as well. His dad in the background. There's Big Chase. And the man of the moment that tunes that one, you just see him there, Shane Kinderis in the background there, world record holder on the Bonneville Salt Flats and a race winning out. And a good mark of respect from Wayne Maxwell and Glenn Allerton. There's handshakes all around at the moment. And there's the man, 11 championships over the years, Phil Tayton, congratulates his man. We might go from one Phil right to another.
Quick word to our race winner in the final race, round winner overall. Glenn Allerton, pretty much you started off the championship year the exact same way you started it, on top of the box.
Yeah, look, we tailed it off with a win, started with a win. It didn't go to plan in the middle, but we gave it our best shot, and I'm really happy thanks to the team and the bike. Bike worked really good then. The opening laps I was really comfortable, and surprised I was pulling away so fast because I felt like I was taking it easy, but and then once I had the gap, then I could just manage it, and I felt really good out there, and just kind of wish that the laps were over a bit quicker. It seemed to take too long there at the end. It was like, come on, let's get it done. But big thanks to Dynatech Maxima BMW team. They've been working really hard to get this result, and I'm just so happy that I could give them a round win to finish the year on, and because they deserve it, because they work so hard. So thanks, boys.
Congratulations, Glenn. Congratulations to all the team. Well done, great effort.
Thanks.
Robbie Bugden, third place overall for the round. Fine last ride from you though, Robbie. Fair way back in that first section of the race. What was going through your head?
Well, I just knew it was all or nothing right there, and it was a little bit disappointing. It's the team's worked hard all season, and they've given me a great bike the whole time. The GSX-R1000 is clearly, a great bike. It's just, they were tough conditions, and I was probably a little bit steady early on, and which gave me too much work to do towards the end. But I threw everything at it, and full credit to my whole team. Like I say, everyone's been working really well, and Hayden, who's in my corner, he's faultless. So big thanks to the guys, and unfortunately we missed out on that one too. But maybe we'll have a good shot at it next year.
Third overall for the championship, that does equal your best in the Australian Superbike Championship?
Yeah, it does. Obviously I came here with the intention to get second, but full credit to Glenn. He rode that race well, and he got the job done. But again, full credit to my team and the Suzuki GSXR 1000, Dunlop tyres. The whole deal is, it's been a pleasure to ride with these guys and work with everyone here at Team Suzuki. So see what the future holds.
Best of luck, Robbie. Congratulations on a great weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Wayne Maxwell, second place overall for the round. Wayno, first ride with number 1 on the bike, and pretty testing conditions there.
Yeah, definitely testing. I was pretty nervous. I've never ridden the big GSXR in the rain, but the ABC traction held up awesome there in the rain. It's just a matter of me finding my feet. So I was the fastest guy on the track, just too slow to get going. So full credit, congratulations to Robbie and Glenn. They've put up a fight all year. It's been a great championship, so let's regroup and move on for next year, and bring on the party tonight.
Final championship standings for 2013 QBE Australian Superbike Championship sees Wayne Maxwell take the victory, 268 points over Glenn Allerton on 234, and Robbie Bugden, how close was that in the final stages, 231. Congratulations to our top 3. Jamie Stouffer just getting the better of his teammate Josh Hook for 4th and 5th as well.
Yeah, it took me all season to get up on the top step of this privateer podium, but it's worth it when you get up here. And the team's put a great bike together for me all year. They've done a fantastic job. It's just a bit of a reward to get back up here for them, and I couldn't quite take out the championship, but that last race, man, the tough conditions.
I'm smiling. It's great. It's to have this championship under my belt is a good stepping stone for me, and to be in the rookie season, it feels great. And to mix it with the factory boys like I did this year, I beat them in several races, which is a great feeling. Then knowing that we can run with them, I think we just need a little bit more support and a little bit more infrastructure to have 2 bikes ready for every round.
In the all-important Superbike Privateers, Glenn Scott took the victory on 232 points on his Ensure My Ride Honda from Bo Beaton on the Racer's Edge Performance Suzuki, 223, and Lyndon McGee on the Next Gen Motorsport BMW, 215 in 3rd place. Thanks for joining us for all of the action at the 2013 QBE Australian Superbike Championship's final round. We'll see you in 2014 as we hit the track again.